This is Walter with Violent Series, and today I will show you how to install the Violent Series trigger for the Bob Long Mark. Let's go ahead and open this package up. There's a Violent sticker for you, of course, and inside you'll find the trigger and a 1/16 Allen wrench for trigger adjustment. Besides that 1/16, you will also need to get a 5/64 and an 1/8 inch. And that should be it. A couple of things about the trigger, if you can see here, of course, it's a Delrin full radius. The trigger is wider than the stock trigger, so our installation you don't have to come in through the frame, the grip trigger guard area. And if you notice that we've also added an additional hole on here that nothing is in. The spring would clip in the back, but for those that like to do, a magnet mod, we've allowed them a screw hole so that they could possibly glue a magnet on there, one in the bracket, in the spring bracket, and then they would be able to adjust the magnetic tension. So let's go ahead and get started here. The trigger side. We'll take our 5/64 Allen key. I'm going to unscrew the grip panel with the left side. Set that aside. Be careful pulling the wires out. You'll need to disconnect from the board right here. Carefully, gently pull it out. I'm going to take my 1/8 inch wrench. Go ahead and start loosening these up. Loosen the back and the front. And make sure it is the very front one, not the LPR adjustment screw. And back that all the way out. Now let's carefully pull it apart. Make sure the eye connector ribbon is going in. Set the body aside. At the top, go ahead. Carefully move the screws and set them aside. Right. Once again, we'll take our 5/64 wrench and we'll unscrew the pivot pin. Pull that out and set it aside. And the trigger, you see the spring in the bracket, should just pull right out the top of the gun. Something that Bob did so to make it easier is actually made it a tight fit so that the spring would always stay in the back of the trigger. We're going to go ahead and remove this. Set the trigger side. For those of you that are going to use the spring, it's a little tricky, I guess, to get it back in there. What we'll want to do is we'll want to push the spring against the hole, compress the spring, and twist it to get it to slip in. So you want to line it up. I don't know if you can see that. Carefully push on it and give it a little twist as you're pushing. And you'll notice it snaps in there. It's probably one of the hardest things that we get questions about. Now, once again, like I said, because the trigger is wider, it will not slip in through the top of the frame. What you're going to have to do is take the trigger, just like so, and slip it up into the groove here, if you can see that. And what you want to do is make sure that spring gets in the hole in the bracket. While that's in there, go ahead and line the hole up there. And we'll take our pin. Get that in there. Go ahead and tighten that screw down. That's that there. What I want to do is go ahead and reattach that to the body. what I usually do, so I'll take this plug right here and I'll kind of bed it back and make sure it's kind of straight. And I'll take the 2 screws from the frame and holding the frame at an angle, because these screws, of course, if you put them in the notches, will fall out. Usually kind of hold it at an angle. And I'll set the 2 screws in there. I'll carefully grab the body. Do this on the first try here. And I'll slip that wire down in there. You can see I got the connector to clear. Then all I have to do is line everything up and then just hold the 2 pieces together. Well, the screw should be basically lined up. Go ahead and start tightening the back and the front down. Right there. That's back on. Actually, I have to pull the wire back up, and then I kind of rebend the wires here, right here, just to kind of get that to point downward. It makes it easy for installation there. Plugging it back in. Bend it down some more. So plug back in. Take the grip panel. Alright, and that's that. Adjustments, basically the same. The addition of a screw up top here. I don't know if you can see that. Right in there. Like I said, it takes the 1/16 inch wrench that was included. And this is your pre-travel adjustment. By adjusting this one up top here, you'll be able to adjust, by screwing it in, it would bring the trigger in to adjust, the actual rake of the trigger, how much pull you would have before it activated. Of course, the screw down here in the middle here is to adjust the micro switch. And this is your post-travel, so how far after the micro switch. All of those can be used in any configuration to get the feel and pull you like. And that's it.